SDK choice is a matter of appropriateness. Let's start with what may be a surprising example. One of my consulting clients used Xamarin as their cross-platform SDK. They wanted to port their product from Windows to an embedded Android system in a printer designed to print labels for restaurants to track stored food. Xamarin is not very good for creating a highly polished user interface, but in this situation, a highly polished user interface was pretty far down the list of priorities, compared with being able to make use of their existing Windows-oriented developer team and existing code. The product, a restaurant inventory system, wasn't for occasional users. The user experience might be no more compelling than the restaurant's accounting system, but it didn't need to be. For mass-market consumer products, there's also a choice based on appropriateness. A lot of it depends on budget. Something like Google Maps has to be an exemplary implementation of both capabilities and user interface on both iPhone and Android devices, and it's got the budget to do pretty much anything they think they need to do in creating the best maps and navigation user experience. Even if there's a lot of commonality in the user interface across platforms, there's going to be a lot more system-specific code than there would be, for example, for a blog platform or e-commerce. For small e-commerce sites, something as simple as a web wrapper can be sufficient to turn an e-commerce website into a cross-platform app. This isn't just an appropriate level of effort for those sites. E-commerce is a content management problem that makes good use of HTML to present product details in a flexible and extensible format. Games have their own cross-platform ecosystem. Cross-platform capabilities are often built in to the game platform. Adherence to platform UI conventions, that is, the native platform UI conventions, is a minor consideration in most cases in games. For products like social media, where a consistent user interface across platforms is more valuable than access to the very newest platform capabilities, other considerations come into focus. A big one is the risk of a cross-platform SDK becoming unmaintained. Facebook solved the problem by creating their own cross-platform SDK, React Native. For a long time, React Native was the most widely used cross-platform SDK, only recently being surpassed by Flutter and the underlying Dart language. If you don't like React Native or Flutter, a reasonably safe bet are the cross-platform SDKs created by major platform companies. For example, if the fact that Xamarin was deprecated in 2024 has you shopping for a cross-platform SDK for the future, you might want to look at .NET MAUI, Microsoft's cross-platform SDK. New cross-platform SDKs come on the market all the time, and most of them don't last. You don't want to be caught with your product based on an orphaned SDK.